I'm going to clean out the chimney today by getting on top of the house. You have to do it or else you could start a stack fire. To put it simply, the creosote and dirt that builds up in the stovepipe will catch fire. Before it ended, Alaska: The Last Frontier showed the beauty of Alaska and the strong character of the Kilcher family for more than 10 years. Fans were saddened when it ended. It had become a way of life for the Kilchers. But all of a sudden, the show stopped without a proper goodbye. People watched for years as the family built their homes and learned to live in extreme weather, seeing both their successes and failures. The quick ending made a lot of fans wonder why such an important show would be cut short. Were the choices made by the production company, or were they more personal? Come along as we find out the real reason Alaska: The Last Frontier closed. In 2022, the 11th season of Alaska: The Last Frontier came to an end. Fans are already looking forward to the next season. By 2023, fans were looking forward to the release of the 12th season with great anticipation, thinking that it would continue the story of the culture's rough way of life. To everyone's surprise, though, the new season didn't start when it was supposed to. Fans were confused by this, which led to rumors about the show's future. Some people were wondering if the show was really over or if there was another reason why it was taking so long to come out. Even worse, the show's producers and cast members haven't given any public updates, leaving fans wondering what's going on. There have been no official announcements, but there are strong signs that the show is over. For example, the show's social media account hasn't been used since the end of the last season, and there have been no details about filming. That's not all, though. There were probably other things that led to the end of the show as well. A lot of people found it interesting to read about how Jewel Kilcher became famous. However, the sad story may have helped bring an end to Alaska: The Last Frontier. You see, Jewel was homeless for more than a year for a very bad reason before she became famous. She says she moved out when she was 15 because her mother left the family and her father at Kilcher started being mean to her. She first rented a house and did very well there until she ran out of money. Then she moved into her car and made it her home. To make things even worse, her boss fired her for turning down his approaches, which made her focus on music. In her autobiography, Never Broken: Songs Are Only Half the Story, she wrote about her unusual upbringing, including her youth, her rise to fame, her marriage, and becoming a mother. In the book, she wrote about how her father abused her as a child. She talked about how her life was full of fear and being manipulated. Of course, the things she did changed the way she thought about life, and they helped her become famous in the field. But that doesn't change the fact that she has long-term effects from being abused as a child. Even after everything she went through, she turned her pain into music, until a radio DJ played a short part of a song. Her first record came out because of this, and the rest is history. Jewel didn't want to tell the public her story out of anger because she has forgiven Atz and got his permission before putting out the book. By telling what she went through, she inspired other people who have been through the same thing to get help and tell their stories. Since Jewel's accusations were made public, Atz Kilcher has not responded to any of them. However, there has been a lot of anger and pushback against him. Along with the problems with the renewal, it's possible that the show's producers don't want to keep working with Atz Kilcher because fans might stop watching their shows. It's also possible that the producers didn't renew the show because they wanted to protect its image. Fans are curious about the timing of the show's renewal, even though there have been no public statements linking the two. The world we live in now, how people think, and social media all play a big part in creating stories. The controversy over the ads could hurt the show's image and make people less likely to watch it. The makers probably don't want to be looked at too closely, so they're not renewing the show. The divorce of Atlee and Jane Kilcher is another important reason why the show is said to have stopped. Their friendship was one of the most loved on the show, and it was more than just a personal bond. It was a theme that viewers could relate to. The pair has been on the show since the beginning, showing how well they can survive. Their marriage hasn't been easy though. They've both been hurt and dealt with bad weather, but they're still committed to each other. Besides that, fans and reviewers have spread rumors about their marriage. Some people went so far as to guess that the subject was cheating. Many people said they were getting divorced in 2016. Then again, Jane has spoken out sometimes to support her marriage to Atlee. Without a doubt, their relationship with the other Kilchers was a big part of what made the show interesting. Without their help, it's likely that the show would lose some of its viewers and the dramatic stories that drew them in. Jane wrote on her Facebook page on July 23, 2023 that Atlee had divorced her, which was sad. She made it clear that she doesn't have any bad feelings toward her ex-husband, even though she didn't say why they got divorced. In fact, when she shared a picture of her black eye, she was busy defending him against online trolls who said he abused her. They didn't know that she got the black eye on the show from a gunscope accident. The fact that Ashley and Jane are no longer together makes the revival hard because the show is about family life. And that's because if one of them isn't as present, it could throw off the story. Besides the split, Otto's life-threatening injury is another thing that may have led to the end of the show. Fans of the TV show Alaska: The Last Frontier would remember Otto as the smart society. He was in charge of cows on the show, and he also learned how to fix things on his own. Otto got caught in a snowstorm while taking care of the cows in Alaska's crazy weather. Because the weather wasn't quite right, one of the cows accidentally stepped on him. He had many injuries from the accident, such as broken ribs, injured lungs, a broken arm, and other wounds on the inside and outside of his body. Because he was in such bad shape, his wife Charlotte wasn't allowed to visit him in the hospital during critical care hours. He got better quickly thanks to the treatment, but it wasn't easy getting better. Luckily, Otto got better quickly. He is still hurt and has some parts of him that will never work right, but he is healthy and living. He put up a video on Instagram on August 24, 2024, of himself running a tractor and taking care of his farm. The main point is that Otto's accident probably made things worse. As a major character on the show, his inability to fully live the farming lifestyle may have played a role in the producer's choice. Some say that the production company was fined by the Alaskan government, which was the last straw that broke the camel's back on Alaska: The Last Frontier. In the United States, there are strict rules about when and how to kill bears. Alaska is no different, but the Kilcher family either didn't know about these rules or chose not to follow them. Though it's not illegal to hunt bears on foot in Alaska, it is against the law to do so from a chopper. This may seem strange, but it's actually the rule that's meant to make sure hunting is done in an honest and fair way. But the Kilchers didn't just use a plane to hunt. There was also video footage of the whole thing, which is why they were charged. People named @Kilcher, Christina Kilcher, and Wilma TV Inc., a Discovery Channel company, were all charged with hunting crimes. The event caused a legal mess that could have been very bad for both the family and the organizers. Some of the charges were dropped as part of a settlement, but they weren't let off the hook. They had to follow through with a $17,500 fine. At the time, production companies were trying to stay in business by lowering the cost of making things. Most likely, the last part of the case was the financial nail in the coffin.